Hi, this is Mano from Mano on Money. I plan to publish a series of videos specifically on how to develop trading skill. This is aimed at just passing the knowledge to anyone who wish to earn, few monies through trading and meet their life commitments. This is the first video of that series, and we'll probably just start with the reasoning or the purpose why we should be an investor or a trader first. So I'll probably list down the factors which influences a person to be an investor or a trader, and probably can go through this. These are all my views. You can just try to understand and see which side you want to pick and which it's best suited for you. So it all starts on the purpose first. So why do we need that money, or what is the purpose, and when it is required? That decides whether we need to be an investor or a trader. So money is a essential commodity, and the quantum required depends on the need of a person. So it could be a very basic steady income that we might require a period of time. Say for instance, I need X amount of money on a daily basis or a weekly basis, a steady additional income apart from my money that I earn through official job. Or it could be anything down the line, like uh, traveling to a specific location which you dream of, or taking care of your kids marriage or education. There are various commitments right through the life, right? So it depends on when it is required and what is the purpose. So purpose will decide the amount that is required, and the timeline when this amount is required. This will decide whether you want to be an investor or a trader. First, let's look at the investing point of view. Why do we need to be an investor, or when we should become an investor instead of a trader? This actually is suited for everyone because everyone has some lifetime commitments. Assume, we have a kid, and the day he or she is born, we decide, okay, down the line, after 18 years, I need some X amount of money to have him educated or have her educated. So the journey starts from day one. Or, as I said earlier, like a dream vacation which you're planning next year or 2 years down the line. So if there is sufficient amount of time to generate that X amount, then it is best advice to be an investor. So you don't have to uh, trade each and every stock on a daily basis or a weekly basis or even monthly basis to generate that X amount, because you have got sufficient time, and when you know when it is required, and you can invest some Y amount and then generate the amount that is required down the line. So this is best suited for everyone. Anyone can do it. Even it is not age dependent. We all know that Warren Buffett started his investment at the age of 11 years. So even college students or school students, they can start investing but of course you need to have a minor account. So it is not age dependent. Anyone can do it and everyone can do it. Everyone who has life commitments, they can start doing investing. And we all are investors without knowing, right? I mean, everyone invest in fixed deposit, recurring deposit. Those are also investment. If you do a recurring deposit for 6 months, you invest 100 rupees on a monthly basis, and after 6 months you get the invested amount plus the interest. That's an investment. So everyone is an investor unknowingly, and everyone believe that who invest in stock are only investors. No, it's not the case. But specifically, equity investment is chosen because of the returns that we get. So even you can just invest 1,000 rupees, and down the line after 10 years you can generate some substantial amount out of those invested amount. But again, even if you have decided to be an investor, there are some specific skills that is required. You need to have this analysis ability. You need to do some fundamental analysis on the script or stock that you choose to invest. There are several various websites or videos, YouTube channels are available who they teach how to do a fundamental analysis. And even there are very various brokers who just gives their investment advice for free. I have an account in ICICI Direct, and they publish gladiator stocks. So they publish a specific stock for investment, and they give the duration as well, to how much time we need to hold, whether for 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. So you need to have some basic fundamental analysis, or you can depend on any of the brokers or other sources where you can get the information. Even I started as an investor way back in 2007. Uh, my source of information was Outlook Profit at that time. Uh, in fact, that publication was stopped because the target audience was for that publication was high net investors, and definitely HNI would have an dedicated financial advisor for them. So that publication didn't go as expected, so they stopped it. But the information was very helpful. I had invested in few of the stocks, and I made more than 100% in a year or so. So the source of information is free, and you can do your own analysis as well after you acquire that skill. So and you can do start doing the investment. And the main advantage of this path or approach is, right, it is very tension free. I mean, you do a set of analysis, you pick it, you invest either at one shot or do a systematic investment, like monthly you can invest some amount which you have additionally, and just do the management. If it is not going as per plan, just exit and pick another stock which you have analyzed. So it is less tension free, it doesn't require constant monitoring, and even the analysis time is very less compared to intraday and swing trading. So these are all the major advantages. And as I said earlier, I mean, there are very various sources which publish the information for free. So you can depend on them and start doing the investment. Again, this comes with the disadvantages as well. One thing is, you need to be highly disciplined till the goal is reached. Say for instance, you start the journey on year one, and the plan is to get some X amount as returns at the end of year 10. So you need to be stay invested during this entire 10-year journey. If you change your mind and just get out of the investment at the third year, right, then you need to replan how we are going to generate that X amount at the end of 10th year. So you need to be highly disciplined. It's not just about discipline as well, and you need to be lucky enough that you don't get any unexpected commitments during the 10-year journey. Like we have various commitments, right? I mean, emergency situations, or during the period we might think, okay, this is a nice house which I could buy at this time. Let's think about the other ways to generate that X amount during the end of the 10th year. So you'll actually liquidate that amount and decide to buy a house. So there will be certain investment change in decisions, emergency situation, which definitely you'll have to meet it out. So these are all the disadvantages in this, and the main thing which I feel, or which is the factor that I decided to move out of investor and to be a trader is, you will not get that returns at the time you expected. The probability of getting is 50-50, I would say. So let's say I need some 10 lakhs at the end of 10 years. What is the guarantee? I decide to invest in two or three stocks and stay invested for the rest of the 10 years and generate that amount. Will that give will that give that X amount at the 10th year? Not sure. Will that give that X amount at the end of the 10th year exactly? No, not sure. Or before it? Not sure. Even we know, right? I mean, pre-COVID, there was a major market crash as had happened in 2008, 2007 or 8, I think. Almost every stock went down by 50%. What if it happens at the 10th year you plan to liquidate your amount? Possible, right? So you need to be again lucky enough to pick the right stock and have that X amount generated at the right time. So even I said right pick, right. What if the three stocks that you have invested doesn't move at all? There is no momentum for first 3 or 4 years. It will test your patience, right? That's when you'll your discipline will go for a toss and you'll liquidate the amount. And after you liquidate it, the stock will start moving. So there are a lot of factors that involves. So you're choosing a very limited quantity. I mean, when I say limited quantity, because of the advantage of minimal analysis time is required. With that minimal analysis, you will pick some few stocks, and you're totally dependent on those few stocks to generate the amount that you require. So the probability of success is bit less for me. That's why I choose to become a trader. Of course, there were some personal commitments as well, which forced me to become a trader rather than an investor. And of course, I mean, there is nothing right or wrong. You can decide to be an investor. You can generate the amount you want. It can happen. It can work for you as well. I mean, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work for me and it won't work for anyone. It can work for you as well. So do your analysis, develop that skill. If you want to be a investor, develop the skill of doing the fundamental analysis and start investing. And the capital required is very minimal amount. We know person who started with 5,000 rupees. Rakesh Junjunwala started the investment with just 5,000 rupees, and even he crowdfunded that. So a very minimal amount is required, and the returns is actually we can't say this is the return you will get. It depends. You can get 100%, 50%, even beyond 1,000%. And if it is a direct equity approach that you take, you do your analysis and you pick your stock and invest directly. And if you take mutual fund route, and there are many websites or brokers who give the top three equity mutual funds, and you can just pick those and invest in it, and on an average you can make 15% per annum. Again, this is not guaranteed. That's what every mutual fund company says. This is not guaranteed, but historically that has happened. So these are the various factors which you can think upon and decide if you want to be an investor. And The other way of generating income, say for instance, as we saw in the first slide, there are person who need a steady income, that is on a daily or a weekly basis. They can choose to be a trader. It is not a tough skill to develop, and that is what I am aimed at, creating videos and pass that knowledge to everyone. It is definitely not a tough skill to develop. Anyone can develop that skill. This is best suited for any person who just have 1 or 2 hours of free time on a daily basis. You can just have 30 minutes or 1 hour of analysis to pick the stocks, set alerts. Once the alert is triggered, you can just go and decide whether to trade or not. On a whole, in a day, 1 to 2 hour, if you have free time, you can do it. And that's why it is very best suited for homemakers or self-employed, like person who owns a shop, and he has got some 2 to 3 hours of free time on a daily basis. This is actually best suited for college students who are dependent on their parents for their pocket money, like for their leisure outing with their friends, or buying a gadget or all those stuff. This is best suited for college students. And uh, and the other one is, this I am more inclined to, I know where many daily laborers or technicians who don't get work on a daily basis. And of course there are challenges in terms of passing on the knowledge to them. We can think ways how to pass the knowledge to them and make them a basic trader. This can be a life saving skill for them, particularly at this period of time. And retired persons, this is the main reason I choose to be a trader, because post retirement definitely I still have to work. um, we being an private employed in private sector, right, we will not be having pensions and all those stuff. So we need to either continue our work till our death, or till we have that ability capacity, or if we decide to do that, we'll have to think about commute and everything. At that age it will be very difficult, right? So the best way is to have a small investment where I can buy a desktop or a laptop, and a network connection, a broadband, and a basic skill, using which I can shortlist stocks and trade on a daily basis. I can generate decent amount of money on a weekly basis, which is more than sufficient for elderly couples. So this is the main reason I choose to be a trader. But on a side note, I mean, the second point, this is definitely not suited for emotional persons. I mean, if you're a person who cannot bear even a small loss, there is no point being a trader. Don't even think about becoming a trader, because loss is part of this journey. One week you will face loss, the other week you will make money, more money than what you have planned. So it's all about how you manage your trading each week and generate the amount that you want at the end of the month. So if you can't bear a small loss, even I had a colleague few years back, he asked me, I mean, so you do trading? I mean, so loss is part of this, right? I said it's possible. How much money can you lose? Depends. At times you can lose 1K or 2K. Depends. More than that as well. And he said, "Oh my God, I can't even think about losing it. I'll just put it in a fixed deposit. I'll get an under 200 rupees. It's just very safe." So if you are if you are a person of that kind, don't even think about becoming a trader. And definitely this requires skill, which is actually easily attainable. You need to have better understanding of price action and certain price movement patterns. Candlestick pattern is very essential. And on top of it, if you know few indicators, Fibonacci and harmonic patterns, you can be a very professional trader. And on the advantage side, pros, you can generate a decent constant income on a daily or a weekly basis to meet your basic life commitments. This actually, I mean, compared to the other way of making money, going to a job or the, any other simple self-employment where you are dependent on the suppliers, your customers, a lot of tensions are there, right? I mean, this particular way of making money is less tension. But that's my point of view. I mean, you can generate a decent amount of money on a daily or weekly basis, tension free, and this gives more free time when compared to traditional 9 to 5 job. Uh, if you take it full time, right? I mean, on a daily basis, you just need a 2 or 3 hours on a daily basis. That's it. You can just analyze, pick the stock, once alert triggered, trade and close it. That's it. Once target reach or stop loss it, get out of the day. So it gives more free time as compared to the traditional 9 to 5 job. But disadvantages, definitely it involves stress because loss is part of the journey. uh, in fact, when I covered the college student part, it is suited for college student, right? I forgot to mention one thing. I mean, uh, this is best suited for person who requires some pocket money or to meet basic lifetime commitments, right? I mean, last month I had to purchase a mobile for my son, which for which I had to pay 20K. So I decided, okay, I paid through credit card and I had a time of 45 days to generate that amount. So I decided, okay, let's generate the 20K in 15 days. uh, I posted a goal video as well. I posted around 7 to 8 videos, I think, goal in terms of generating 20K in 15 days. Uh, I, in fact, posted which stocks I picked to trade, and I posted weekly review on my status as well. You can just go and watch it. So, what I want to communicate is like I ended up making 12K. Actually, I made 14.5K, and you can less 2K for brokerage and all those stuff. So made 12K. I planned 20K, but I made 12K. That's fine, right? I mean, I had invested around 90K for it, which is close to 13 15 percentage of return in just 15 days. So the investment capital is still with me, 90K. I generated 12K, and that 90K actually paid for my son's mobile. So I didn't pay out of my packet, which paid me the skill which I developed over the years. So this is best suited for that purpose. And during the 3 week journey, right, the first week I made a loss of 3.5K. So that's why I say loss is part of this trading journey. Because you made loss during the first week, you cannot drop that goal and go away. I still had 2 weeks to make that amount. I ended up making 12K. I recovered. Second week I made 12.5K, and the third week I made 5.5K. So loss is part of the journey and involves stress, but you need to know how to manage the stress. That is key part of the skill, and definitely it requires some screen timing. After you enter, you need to watch how the price moves and make adjustments accordingly. But probably during the initial stages while you develop the skill, this might be required, but over a period of time you can introduce certain processes and steps and reduce the screen monitoring timing. That can be done. That's what I am doing nowadays. So I don't watch the price movement after I take a trade. I just once the alert is triggered, I just enter and then move away and continue with my work. And in fact, I drew bracket order trading. So even when the price moved towards my target, it automatically gets closes and the amount is credited to my trading account. So, and the main thing is you need to be very disciplined in your even in your following your own rules actually. So without discipline you can't make money in this game. Even for investors as well, you need to be very disciplined. And the capital required is 25K, a bare minimum. uh, with that, if you're taking a very conservative approach, when I say conservative, just trading one setup, you develop one strategy or a one setup and trade that for the entire month, your trading opportunities will be very less, but you can be for sure that you can make 10% in of the invested capital, which means if you have 25k, at the end of the month you can make 2500 rupees if if you just trade one setup. And if you have more than one setup and you take an aggressive approach, you might get more opportunities, and the chances are that you can make a minimum of 50% of the invested capital per month. This is what the factor that pulls many person to trading world, and they think they can be millionaires overnight, but that's not the fact actually. You need to develop the trading skill, but there are actually you need to have a small goal which is actually attainable. You can't make 10,000 percentage returns overnight or 1 month in 6 months and all that. That's not actually possible. If you are choosing intraday trading on stocks, just think about this. I mean, instead of getting income from your daily job, you're getting that same amount by doing trading on a daily basis. That's it. If you're making 50k out of your trading working job, the same amount you can generate from your intraday trading. You need to see it as meeting your life commitments, daily life commitments. So it can solve this purpose. And so because of it requires some screen timing, and even if you take aggressive approach, right, you might be end up trading one or two stocks on a daily basis, which requires more time, right? So there's no point any office goers can do it. They'll have very restricted time on a daily basis. So swing trading is the best option for them. uh, this is suited for office goers. So again, the skill required, the same thing. You need to know price action, patterns, and candlesticks. And on top, if you know indicators, Fibonacci series, and harmonic pattern, that will help you. As I said, this is an excellent wealth builder. Actually, it doesn't mean, I mean, you're not generating amount here to meet your daily life commitments, but you're generating. I mean, compounding your capital. This is an excellent wealth builder and best alternate for investing, because the main problem with investing, I mean, you will not get the amount at the right time, right? So the 10 years journey, you are leaving the risk to the stock that you have picked. You're entirely dependent on the stock should make the momentum during the 10-year period time, and you can't control that movement. But here you can take a specific period, say for 1 month. You can analyze and pick a stock, and you make a judgment based on the price action pattern is everything, that for this period, for the next 2 3 weeks or 1 month, this stock will make a momentum. So you invest, get that amount, move out, and for the next month you pick another stock. So you are controlling the movement to the entire during the entire 10-year journey, and you're building your capital. So this is best suited if you're deciding to build the wealth on your own. This is best suited for you. And I said this requires very less monitoring time compared to intraday. Uh, Even you can do the analysis during weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Set the alert. Once the alert is turned on, you just take a break for 10 15 minutes from your work, go and place the order, and then close it. Again, set alert for stop loss and the target, and forget about it. Let the price move on its own. If it hits the stop loss, accept the loss. If it moves towards your target as you expect, you make the money. And again, even in this strategy or approach as well, loss is part of the journey. You might be making losses for consecutive weeks or months, so it involves stress. And you must be very disciplined in your following your own rules. The capital requirement for swing trading is 50k to max of 1 lakh. This we have assumed that we'll be trading in futures with hedge, and certain stocks in Nifty 50 requires a capital of around 1 lakh, even if you're hedging it. So the investment requirement is bit high when compared to intraday. And even you can decide to trade on equity, but if you get an opportunity on short side, if you have to sell a stock and hold it overnight, then you'll have to trade it in futures or option. That and if you have to do that, you'll have to do without edge. It's very risky. So that's why I said the investment capital is bit high because of that short side trades. We may have to trade in options or futures. You can't do it in equity intraday, and you can do it in intraday, but if you have to carry forward that position overnight, you'll have to do only with options or futures. And possible returns is minimum 20%. This I am saying it as a very conservative approach. I mean, just stick to one setup and trade that, and you can get close to 20% of your invested capital per month. This is on swing trading. And in fact, for October month, I have selected Cipla for swing trading. This is again based on channel movement and the harmonic pattern ABCD confluences with the hormone price action. So I decided to pick that stock. I'm currently holding it. I entered on the position on last Thursday. Maximum it will take a week or 10 days to reach the target. Let's say how much amount I make in this swing trading. I'll post a review video once the either the stop loss or stock is target is reached. I'll post a review video, and in fact you can watch my review videos for goal one, generating 20K in 15 days. I've posted 3 review videos for every week. You can watch it. I'll give it in the description. I'll give the link in the description section. You can watch those videos. And finally, you can decide to trade index as well, Nifty or Bank Nifty. The reason for it, right? I mean, both the intraday stock trading or the swing intraday trading, you'll have to analyze a bunch of stocks. I usually scan through the Nifty 50 stocks, which is 50 count. I used to scan all those stocks, look for price action, and pick those for trading on a particular week. So if you think you don't have the time, I'll not be able to scan and pick those stocks for and trade for a particular week or a particular month. You can just restrict yourself to trade just Nifty or Bank Nifty or both. So only thing you will be requiring the price act to understanding of price action. So analyze that any of the index, you look for specific patterns and you look for candlestick confirmations. On top, you can add harmonic patterns. And once the alert is triggered, you can decide to take a position on this. Again, from this approach, you can make a constant income, or even I think this can be a well builder as well. I mean, you generate the amount once you reach, say, for instance, the minimal capital required is 25K, and the possible returns is 8 to 10% per week. Yes, you're right. This is per week, I'm saying. Again, this is assumed you're trading it in options, futures with edge. Possibly you might have to hold the position overnight, 1 or 2 days. So you'll have to edge it. That's why the required capital is 25K. The bare minimum is 20K. I think most of the brokerages charges 20K as margin to take a futures position with edge, uh, and the additional 5K is as a buffer to uh, withstand any losses that you may encounter. With this, you can easily make 2000 or 2500 per week. This can be easily done. So after 10 weeks, you would have doubled your capital, and you can decide to increase your lot size. During the initial 10 weeks, you'll be trading it one lot, and after 10 weeks you can decide to trade with two lots. So this can be a well builder as well. So down the line, after 2 3 years, you'll be trading with 10 lots or so. But you need to have a strong skill developed for this. It cannot happen overnight. When I say double your capital in 10 weeks, it will not happen immediately. You'll have to first generate that skill. I mean, develop that skill, get acquainted with that particular index, how the price moves, when it will react, generate a pattern or setup which you feel comfortable, and wait for that moment and take the trade. So it can be developed, that skill can be developed. It will take time, but once you develop, you can become an expert. That's what the main advantage of this. You'll become an expert in that particular index price movement. Since you'll be trading it, that only one stock, single product, you'll be trading it right through the year. After a period of 3 or 5 years, you'll become an expert in this. You know when to take the trade, at what moment the price will react, how it will react, and all those stuff you'll get to know. But again, as I said, trading as such, the main simple rule is you need to be disciplined in following your own rule. You need to define your own rule because you know your emotions. You need to control your emotions. That's what you that's what makes you as a better trader or best trader. So you need to be very disciplined in following your rules. Uh, so, in a nutshell, if you have a great amount of period, say for 10 years, 15 years, time period to generate the amount that is required to meet your lifetime commitment, be an investor. If you are looking an option to make additional steady income, choose to be a trader. And within trader as well, we have multiple options. You can choose to be an intraday trader. If you don't have sufficient analysis time, you can decide to be a swing trader. And within that, if you don't have time to analyze n number of stocks and pick those for trading, choose to be an index trader. You can trade either nifty or bank nifty, and you can generate the decent amount that you are looking for as an additional income. So take your time, think through what you want and what are the strengths or weakness that you have, and based on those factors, you decide what you want to be. And I'll post the uh, videos that is related to how to develop the trading skill, or how I what all the videos or books or the help of mentors that I got to become a better trader. I'll post a series of videos which I think might be useful to you as well. Thanks for watching the video, guys. That's it for today. Happy trading.